Okay, welcome. This video is about my solo trap. This is my second solo trap I made, but now sitting at about 100 million. Last time I did an overview on this account, it was about 85 million, I believe. But since I've been testing it with T5 hits and the paid familiar hits, I had to change out a few of the comps, and I thought I'll update you on the latest comp that I have and latest thing that's happening with this. So I'm in Kingdom 592, and today is April 29th, 2020. I'm in a guild called ETRS, and basically let's go ahead and dive into this account and see what's happening. So recently, with this particular kingdom, there's actually been a lot of action that's happening. So as soon as I unshield, I will get pretty good amount of action. Now, yesterday was one of the harder tests that I had, because I had one guy, I think he was about 1.7 billion. He's got T5 and he's got the backline familiar. So it's pretty much max hit you can take, unless he's sending full T5, and no one's actually done that yet. But it's a pretty good test. And of course I've been tested by T4s and some other T5s, but I don't think it's still burn proof, but we're getting closer. So let's go ahead and go over and go through some of the things, or some of the, I don't know, overview this particular account. Again, you noticed I only have these heroes at rank 8 gold, and then rest of them I do not have, and I have not hired, and I don't plan on hiring, because obviously by hiring them and upgrading them, they'll add mites to you, so it doesn't work out well for me. So let's go ahead, and what am I doing once I got everybody to gold? What I'm doing at this point is, if we look at my medals here, you'll notice I have 200 medals for Rose, I have for Demon Slayer, I'm getting close to Snow Queen, probably end of today I will have 200, and I have 200 for Bombing Goblin. Next 200 I will go ahead and get for Child of Light. And reason why I'm doing this is just in case they ever release Mythic. I believe it's going to be, if they do release Mythic Champion, it's going to be probably 200 or 250 runes to upgrade them. So I might as well get prepared, because we all thought T5 was never coming. It did. And if we look at it, the heroes, it's gold now, so Mythic could be orange, it could be on its way. So I'm preparing all my accounts with these, getting extra runes, and once I get 200 to Child of Light, I'm probably gonna go ahead and bump them up to 250 each, just in case they decide to jump, instead of increment of 50, they decide to jump 100 on this particular one. So I will have them to 150. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see my stats, or so here's my gear right now, and I am pre-level 60. I've actually gained pretty good amount of experience in this kingdom now. I'm actually halfway there. I came into the kingdom with about, oh man, I want to say 8 million, or maybe even less. I don't really remember, but definitely I've gotten some kills since, I've gotten some experience, so I will get there. And here, if we look at it, you'll see I don't have quick swap here, and that's because I don't want to add any might that I don't need to. I'm already at 100 million might. Some kingdoms won't solo 100 million with anti on. This particular kingdom, they don't have problem with it. So I think bigger kingdoms you can go you will get more hits. Obviously, I want to get to a point where I can absorb Titan hits without any issues. And when I say Titan hits, I'm talking about the mythic, you know, mythic, high mythic level, even mythic champs, 11Ks, with especially with paid familiar like Bon Appetit. That is your ultimate hit. And eventually they will probably, once everybody gets enough T5, we will probably see pure T5 hits coming in. So that's what I want to be ready for. Now let's look at my mites and whatever here. You notice I don't know why it says turf loss 0, but I did actually burn once in this kingdom a couple of days ago. And that's when I was, I believe, at 92 million, and that's what prompted me to bring it up to 100 million. You can see that quest I have still yet to turn in any, no traps there. And familiar, I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. Hero armies, same thing, having just what I need. And player level I can't really control because it will get to level 60 eventually. And then research, I'm at 18 million. I have not done any research or building in quite a while now, so that will stay at those numbers here. Now enemies captured, and then I, of course, if you see a leader captured here, that means I've been zeroed, and I don't know if I would be willing to go through problem or trouble of getting it built back up to the amount of troops that I have, but we'll see. Now as far as talent go, innate talent, nothing there, so I didn't research any of that tree just to keep any might off of it. Now here's my squad offense max, and if we just go all the way, squad health is maxed, and on the bottom squad health 2 is maxed, and I maxed level 3 offenses, and then I distributed evenly on range, infantry, and cav 2s. And once I reach level 60, I think I get 8 more points, so I will probably add 3, 3, and 2, so there'll be about 15, 15, and 15 is what's going to be, and nothing else there. And only time when I come off of talent is if I'm going to do any mass training, because I don't have any RSS buildings, or I'm not doing any construction or research. I don't pay attention to any of this, so it's just pure, I'm on war talent most of the time. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at my jewels and gear. So obviously I'm at level 59. I'm getting my level 60 gear ready. They are ready to go. I may eventually have to maybe invest into more material madness to bring them up, if I potentially, depending on how the hits go, because maybe I need more stats at this point. But here you can see I have Beast Helm ready to go on purple, and instead of this Heart Carapace, I'm going to go with Firewall Plate, and for main reason of HP there. And of course maybe I'll be able to upgrade it to purple, hopefully. And then same thing here for the leg, I will go with Dragon's Talon. So I'm going with pretty standard stuff here. As far as the main hand, I will go with Skull Crusher because of army attack 9.4. That pretty much outdoes all of this. And then my offhand, my trusty old Scimitar. And Scimitar of course gives you the army HP of 16.1%. It's a free to play gear, and it's not too hard to come by. You gather enough, you will eventually get this. And 16%, you're not going to get that much HP anywhere unless you had like I believe gold. See, this one gives you 11. Purple gives you 15. So you gotta get gold winter mitts even to surpass that. And that's quite a whiles away from me. So until I get the gold winter mitts, I'm probably not going to replace this mythic scimitar. Now, as far as the accessories go, right now these 3 are what I'm going with. But once I reach level 60, I'll swap them out with these 2, and then probably one of these 3, depending on. I would really like to rather have the burning scroll, but that takes away from my skull crusher, so that's why I'm not going with the burning scroll at this time. Now, most of my jewels are, well, that's a good set, purple and gold. This one, blue, purple. Purple, blue, I think maybe one gold, but most of them are purple and blue, and you definitely want blue and up in order for you to put the jewels in. Green, I don't think it's worth it, and if you are putting in green jewels, you probably shouldn't be fighting or trapping out there just yet. So that's what's happening there. Eventually I will replace these monstrous jewels with gold jewels, and because even at purple they're only let's see, about 5% attack. For example, Terror Jewel, 5% attack, where the blue infantry jewel will give you 6%. So it's better to have, almost better to have blue jewel than purple monstrous. So obviously I'd love to have gold attack jewels everywhere, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But that's where my gear sits. Level 60 is ready to go, and as soon as I turn level 60 I will get there. As far as my jewels go, I don't have much. Let me see. Yep. See, I don't have much here. So anytime, like once I get one more cav attack jewel, then I'll go ahead and pull a blue cav attack jewel and turn it into purple. So it's a constant just upgrade little by little. Okay, now let's see what else we got. Let's look at the stats here. So the stats that I'm looking at: construction speed, whopping 4%. And then training speed, 20%. So I absolutely have nothing on these things. Only thing that's going to be very here is what I'm sitting on. This is war talent, so I'm hovering right at 300 average kind of thing, range being the strongest and cab being the weakest, but that's where I'm hovering right now. And if we look at HP, around 100ish, and what you see here is HP for army, HP 263, and you can see army attack is weak as well, and that's because I haven't done a lot of the researches beyond level 8 on military. So here I got him up to 10. I think siege attack at the beginning, if I planned it correctly, I didn't even have to do any of that, maybe up to level 8 just to bring this up, but I didn't really have to do that, right? So these are stuck at 8. I didn't want to add so if I get all 3 of them, that would have been like 5.2 million might added. And I'm still, contemplating whether I should do it or not, but it's a 23% addition to HP and attack, but it is a 5 million added might. So from what I've seen, comparing my different traps and whatnot, it almost seems like having more troops is better than having that bump on the stats. So I'm not sure. Okay, so besides that, I didn't do any other research. Only thing I did here was a breakthrough to get my mythic equipment, but you can see nothing here, nothing much was done was here. And if I did anything, it's just level 2, I think. Yeah, 1 2, and that cost almost nothing. Like might, we're talking 200, and that's, I believe I had to do that because of Guildfest, but I'm probably not going to take any further into it. Here on the familiar, we're talking pack 3 open and stop there. Here I believe 2 slots and stop. Yep, slot 2s and stop, and nothing on the rest. So that's where my research stands. Now my familiar, the 2 that I am using are these 2, because this one gives me range attack at max 15%. This one gives me cav attack at 15%. So it gives additional 15% for my backline attacks. And then typical your 5 starting lineup for your infantry phalanx. And you'll notice there's no traps or anything like that, and wall is minimal at 10,500, gets repaired really easy. My infirmary space 615. I do plan on upping this even more, especially through familiars, just because I've had incidents where it's gone up a little past 615. So I would really like to get this into 640-ish. So I will do that. There's no RSS buildings. All my infirmaries at level 25. And reason why you want to bring the level 25 on the infirmary is it also is reason why I have decent amount of army HP, because each one gives you 5% army HP. Now let's look at what else we got. You'll notice I don't have much on these, and maybe I should have kept them even lower. I don't have much on my embassy. I don't plan on taking any rallies. I don't really need any rain. It's a standalone solo trap. Same thing here, very low level on my familiar buildings, and you'll notice that pretty much I'm not working with anything. They're all level 1 still, except the ones that I picked, like the Gnome and Yeti for cav and range attack, and on the army attack or army talent. So once I take them to level 60, I should be able to max these out, pull out 3% more on each range and cav attack side. And then of course you want to definitely work on these familiars, maxing these, because at max they give you 10%. So I can get 10% range, 10% cav, and 10% infantry. And then Mo Shaman also at max gives you infirmary capacity of 5% more. So 5% times 600,000. What is that? 10% is 60. So you get about 30,000 more space in the infirmary, which could definitely help even more. All right, and then Nutty Power gives you infantry attack. And you notice I won't press this until it resets. I only do maybe 3 on a daily reset using 12, 24, and 48. Same here. Thundering Blitz gives you cav attack. Now also other familiars to consider. These are paid familiars, but you can get lucky in the Tycoon and pick up these runes. And here I got 2 of them, but anyway, brought them up to level 17, and you can actually take the infantry pick up 5% more by taking it up to level 5. And you can do same thing with this guy for army attack. So I got 2.25% army attack additional. So every little thing helps, right? So you want, this game is all about the familiars, jewels, and your gear. And then I think I will go ahead and move on and get these other paid ones. Even though they are HP and defense, I think I will go ahead and add them up. Like have HP, I can take this and take them up to even higher level and potentially give me 5% on this. Same thing with this cav defense there and infantry defense. So I'm trying to scrape every little percent on anything military wise that I can against Titans, so it can take, I can absorb the hits a little bit better, right? And so that's basically my familiars. Now, important thing, let's go ahead and go into my troop composition. This is what everybody's been waiting on. So troop comp is 16.5 million right now, so it's pretty huge. And you can see, I mean, this is pretty standard, 5.98, 5.5. I do plan on taking these up to maybe 8 million. And what's going to be a little shocking is my front line. So I have 5 million gladiator, and at average of 300 stats, it still can be burnt by Titan player with T5 and paid familiars. So, but it's not as bad as it used to be. When those guys hit me before, when I had about 3 million frontline, they would actually burn through about 1 million troops. But now, I think I may be able to handle them. I mean, I took a few hits recently, and it's handling better. But still, I think once I get to level 60, get the stats up, and maybe bump up another 1 million. I will check and see. But I think we can eventually come up with the correct formula to be able to eat the Titan kingdoms, where you can go to big kingdoms and still not worry about them gangbanging and whatnot. So I will keep you guys updated on this if I'm able to get a successful comp built up. But right now I don't, and of course, you know, you can always build a successful comp, but it's all about how low of a mic can you keep, you know. So right now I'm at 100. I think it could potentially go into 110, 120 million range by the time I'm done and feeling really comfortable against a full T5 hits. But you know, and that's being real stingy about not doing anything. I'm talking like here, you can even see I didn't do any what do you call it, innate talent or quick swap, any of this type of research. Even though they're 35,000, there's other researches you gotta bring up. So it's not crazy amount, but every little thing adds up. So I'm just being real anal about it, and I don't know, it's kept it down pretty low, and hopefully we can keep it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my trap overview, and it's worked pretty decently. I think this is probably one of my more successful traps that I have, and it's done okay. And you know, of course, keep your eye out for the trappings that I've been doing for the last month or so, because I've been lazy and haven't been uploading. But it will show even like recent action as just as recent as yesterday. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I helped somebody with this comp, and hopefully we can share more information and be able to come up with a correct comp to be able to defend off of T5 of paid familiars in the near future. So thanks, and I will see you guys soon.